अगर एक्टर कुछ जो मैं बताया उससे बेटर कर रहा है तो व्हाई नॉट भाई करो।
अगर उससे बेटर कर रहा है, see the point is that.
But sir,
अगर उससे बेटर
बहुत
कर
अच्छा
रहा है,
है।
सर ने सडनली बोल दिया।
He's seen so many different eras of the Hindi film industry. He understands the pulse of the audience. So he knows his comedy and then he enacts and he shows and he gets it bang on.
मैंने अपनी पूरी स्ट्रगल डेज के लिए बचपन से लेकर अभी तक सारी भड़ास थी, सब
छुपा
निकाल
के रखी थी
सारी
फिल्म में पूरी निकाली है।
Correct. सारी भड़ास निकाली इस फिल्म में।
I love comedy and I would love to explore more in comedy genre because I haven't done too many like out and out comedies. Yeah.
Hi, namaste. I'm Sidharth Malhotra,
Hi guys, this is Rakul.
and you're watching me on
Bollywood Hungama.
Indra, Rakul, Sidharth, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. So good to see all of you, especially after watching the trailer. It's hilarious, Induji. Totally your stamp on it. Induji, my first question to you is, when you made comedies back in the days, इश्क और ये सब जो आपने बनाए हमने सबने enjoy की, तब पेपर पे कितना होता था और bound script होती थी? Like, did you give a full bound script to all your actors at that time also?
ऑलवेज, क्योंकि उसके बिना मतलब मैं खुद सेट पे कैसे जाऊंगा ना इफ आई डोंट हैव अ स्क्रिप्ट। और ये बार भी ऐसा ही था, पूरी स्क्रिप्ट सबको नरेशन हुआ एंड उसके बाद भी वेंट ऑन द फ्लोर्स।
राइट।
सो वो पहले से राइटिंग प्रॉपर करके रहना पड़ता है। इम्प्रोवाइजेशन छोटी मोटी होती है बट बेसिक स्क्रिप्ट आपको लिखनी ही पड़ती है।
बट कॉमेडी में कितनी इम्प्रोवाइजेशन की इम्पोर्टेंस है वो भी बताइए, बिकॉज इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेंट दैट they are themselves, they think of a funny way to say things, they may think of a new joke. You allow all that? You okay with all that?
हाँ, अगर एक्टर कुछ जो मैं बताया उससे बेटर कर रहा है तो व्हाई नॉट भाई करो।
अगर उससे बेटर कर रहा है, see the point is that.
But sir,
अगर उससे बेटर कर रहा है, सर ने सडनली बोल दिया।
But let me tell you that sir is a very good actor. He actually can enact a certain emotion and tell you the exact pulse, because sometimes now what happens is he's seen so many different eras of the Hindi film industry and different kinds of audiences, and he understands the pulse of the audience. So sometimes we might feel sir ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा या कम हो जाएगा या realistic reaction लगेगा कि नहीं, but he knows his comedy and then he enacts and he shows and he gets it bang on.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your experience with him? Because it's also he's a director who's worked with all kinds of stars, worked with the who's who. You tell the actors who's the next generation of actors, this will help him. What kind of a director is he?
I think Mr. Indra Kumar ji is someone that we all, if I can say, grown up seeing his films, being entertainer, being it family drama. And I was very eager and excited. Actually, oddly, we were discussing another film before, इससे पहले.
Correct.
And which was very faint कि कुछ करते हैं ये चीज़ है. But then when the moment Sir came with this film and he had his writers there, who I think have done a fab job, start to finish. He had everything to the T. Even there was a scene which had a reference to it, because there's such odd situations in the film. It's very fresh. There's कोई ऐसा scene नहीं है जो पहले हो रखा है ऐसा. So I could really imagine the film. Could see. I laughed. I smiled, and I felt really emotional by the end of it. And then I realized that Sir also loves to prep a lot. We did a lot of readings.
Okay.
A lot of readings. We used to meet informally with the writers and Sir and just go through the lines. I think the key for humor which I've gained from Sir is the way the scene sounds. It goes on the timing of it. The moment if one person is a bit late, तो उनको वो माइक से ही समझ आता है कि नहीं यार ये तेरा टोन नहीं बैठ रहा है. Even though चलो डबिंग है या जो भी है, but if it doesn't sound right to him when he's wearing the headphones on set, I don't think he says okay for it. And sometimes obviously there are visual aspects also. Right. But I think Sir, if I'm not wrong, आपके लिए एक सीन का लहजा होता है.
एंजॉय करना होता है मेरे लिए. मतलब बेसिकली आप अगर एंजॉय कर रहे हो तो फिर आप सब सही कर रहे हो.
Right.
Correct.
And he enjoyed himself. I could see it, and she also.
Right. So
we
it
had
shows
a lot of opportunities to. It was I genuinely, but we did, because I think it's such new situations for someone to be stuck between heaven and hell and go through anger, jealousy, lust, believe in God and charity and so many things. And it would all have unique kind of punches in the end of it, and I think well written, which I'm pretty excited. I've never done these scenes or zone before, and I think it's a great combination of being a complete entertainer and yet giving you things that you can think about when you go back home and hopefully learn something from it.
Right. What is a script reading of a comedy like? Are you all supposed to crack the exact same jokes there? How does this work?
I think it just turns into a laughter ride.
Okay.
Because it's written in such a comical way. Like I remember the first time when the narration happened, and it was with a bound script and with Sir's referencing that he does, you know, this is how this character is going to look, this is how. So he makes you believe in that world, right? So when you're reading or when you're hearing the narration, you're laughing. You're really laughing on those scenes. And so when you already have stepped into that world, even when you're reading later, you sort of imagine that and you crack up. So I think it's fun. Shooting a comedy.
This is a new space for you. Like comedy is something you have had a great run in the past couple of years. This is something your fans will really closely watch. Whether how good you are at this, how good you should be, and you should do more of these. What was your instinct when you were there? Is it working for your nature? Do you enjoy the comedy doing this?
I think it definitely takes action takes a lot of energy. I think even doing comedy takes a lot of energy. Different kind of emotional energy it takes. You got to be on the spot. You got to listen to the lines. For me, I think timing is the key. When you're doing readings with Sir, he has a tonality in mind, and he has a timing in mind, which we have to get right while we are reading the scenes also, so that it gets ingrained. And then obviously, I think it's very cast specific. You need to really bounce off your co-actor. Kuch bola, ye hua, and that, and people don't get thrown off, or people get the correct timing. And I think that's where Induji came in and was always trying to get people to gel together in their timing. And sometimes he would be, sometimes he would get surprised because the actors would take in a different tonality. Sometimes he would have to pull us back and then get us to the correct tonality. But I had a lot of fun. I think it's for me also, my character in this film, the humor mostly stems from his frustration and his anger. He's someone who was doing well in life and now he's not. And he's not the most perfect character. And that just makes him really angry, which would possibly make you laugh in the film. तो मैंने अपनी पूरी स्ट्रगल डेज के लिए बचपन से लेकर अभी तक सारी भड़ास थी, सब
छुपा के रखी थी,
सारी
फिल्म में पूरी निकाली,
सारी भड़ास निकाली इस फिल्म में.
Congratulations, you've just had a release which I thoroughly enjoyed. You were excellent in the movie, Rakul.
Thank you.
From a doctor, now you jump into being a cop.
Yes.
What is this like, and do you want to tell people what is this cop like?
So this cop is very righteous and is very empathetic, and though of course it's not an out-and-out cop film, so there's not that sort of homework that went into building the cop. But having said that, she's somebody who's I think the stabilizing factor in Ayan's life. So with very empathetic towards people, understands everyone's emotions around, likes to can create that balance. There are some people who can do everything personally, professionally, still understand, and they can still be at peace. She's one of those people who can actually balance every sphere of her life.
Did you enjoy doing comedy?
Of course. I love comedy, and I would love to explore more in comedy genre, because I haven't done too many out and out comedies. Yeah.
Right. Induji, last question to you. Where did this idea of emotions come from? Anger, lust, and all these things?
From life itself.
That's the simplest answer.
Because यही तो है ना, जिंदगी तो यही है ना. हमको कभी गुस्सा भी आता है, कभी हमको ग्रीड भी आता है, कभी हम कहीं देख लेते हैं तो अरे अच्छी लड़की है, ऐसा भी बोल देते हैं. सारी चीजें आती है, which is normal.
Human.
So stemmed from लाइफ ओनली. और हमारी कोशिश ये है कि भाई इस फिल्म के थ्रू वी से कि भाई यार जिंदगी बेसिकली हमको कैसी जीनी चाहिए. सर्टेन पैरामीटर्स हैव टू बी always observed.
Right. Induji, from your experience, you can tell me why has it become difficult to get people to the theaters? This is a comedy, people should go and watch. I also am a big believer of that. Is it difficult that you all have to say it again and again? Please जाके theater में देखो.
See, if the film is good, they'll come to the theater. आप कितना भी बोलो, मुझे भी बोलोगे आप कोई फिल्म देखो, I would never go to the theater.
Right.
Till I have actually somebody has come and told me कि अरे फिल्म कमाल की थी, जरूर देखना. Instantly लोग देखने भागते हैं. So
if it's a good film,
maybe there was no good films coming. Maybe. I am no judge. But ऐसा हुआ होगा, इसलिए audience were let down. But if the film is good, जैसे भूल भुलैया थी, it was entertainer, people went, it was a hit. एंड
ब्रह्मास्त्र
होपफुली हमारी भी
Gangubai,
होगी.
Gangubai, Brahmastra.
हाँ, गंगूबाई,
Fingers
ब्रह्मास्त्र.
crossed, right. No, this is an out and out comedy. It's best enjoyed with people in the theater.
बट
Yeah,
इट्स
it
नॉट
is.
एन आउट एंड आउट कॉमेडी. इसमें थोड़ा सा एंड में एक स्लाइस ऑफ लाइफ भी है, एक इमोशन भी है.
बिल्कुल, बहुत सारा.
Nice.
So
और
it is
बताइए
not just आओ धमाल करो जाओ. It's not धमाल.
It's not
Correct. It's
Dhamaal.
not Dhamaal. That's the key.
It's धमाल में कमाल निकल के आता
अरे
है
वाह.
बाद में.
हाँ, धमाल में
You all have
हाँ,
become pro at this.
Yes.
That's it.
Correct. Rhyming.
Right.
Hi, Namaste. I'm Sidharth Malhotra,
Hi guys, this is Rakul.
and you're watching me on
Bollywood Hungama.